Yeah. I see my good people already in the chat. I'm ready to talk some 49er football. We also got Stephon Gilmore, released from the Patriots. Is he a fit for the 49ers? We're going to get into all that and more. Let's go, 49ers Morning Show.
Intercepted. It is picked off by Eric Crocker. Over midfield, he'll run it all the way into the end zone. Touchdown.
Cross Talk TV podcast. Peace.
What's up, my good people? Good morning to everybody in the chat. Good morning to everybody that's joining the show. Obviously, the Patriots, they threw me an alley-oop, right? I was like, okay, what are we going to get into this morning? What are we going to talk about? I didn't want to keep hammering down the same thing over and over, which most people are talking about, right? Trey Lance, Jimmy Garoppolo, Kyle Shanahan. I'm pretty sure we'll touch on those guys as well. But I was like, you know what? I need to figure out, like, what's another angle I can take this morning? And then the Patriots said, you know what? Don't worry about it, Croc. I got you. Patriots said, don't worry about it. I got you. They threw me the alley-oop. I got to come through like Vince Carter. But yeah, man, appreciate everybody that's in the chat. Make sure if you're not already, subscribe, hit the like button. I told y'all, man, morning Croc wearing Crocs. Listen, you already know I keep the Crocs nearby. Jesse Booker, my guy, what's good with you, man? What's good with you? Croc, sign them, man. I believe. Hey, and we're gonna get into it. And I got a special guest coming on today. In about 30 minutes? 30 minutes? 20 minutes now. 20 minutes. Got a guest for y'all. We're gonna talk about the Stephon Gilmore. He's also gonna bring a fantasy football aspect to the 49ers and how you guys should possibly be watching this game. This is gonna be a real thing, man. I've noticed the numbers way up. Yesterday we had, probably an average of 250 people in the chat. First of all, give me a thumbs up if you guys can hear me. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. I got this new mic. Come on, man. Stop playing. I said, hey, listen, I got to get it official for the morning show. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. All right. Here we go. We already got the super chat going. Let's go. Come on, man. Here we go. Super chat. We need to get this CB if the Niners wanted to have an awesome cornerback. I agree. Stephon Gilmore, there are a couple things with him. I appreciate it. I see all the thumbs up. There we go. Got some really light ones. Got some little brown ones. Got some black ones. I love it. Everybody in the chat, let's go. There are some things with Stephon Gilmore, had a little injury. Was it a growing injury? We're going to get into that. Is the juice worth the squeeze? Is that the saying? All right. Stephon Gilmore, is he still good? Is he still playing at a high level? 2019 defensive MVP. 2020, how did he play? 2021, he's been hurt. What is he? All right, we're going to get into all that and more. I appreciate the contribution. My guy, Jesse Booker, what's up, baby? Love and respect, big dog. Appreciate you. Salute. Y'all see, I'm feeling real festive right now. All right, I'm feeling real festive. So if y'all can't, you know what I'm saying? Y'all see it's Orange October, baby. It's Orange October. San Francisco Giants. We got Giant fans in here. Give me a 100 if we got Giant fans in here. Go ahead, throw that 100 up. Do I got a lot of Giant fans? Jesse Booker. Jesse lives in Wisconsin, I believe, right? So you are a 49er fan. Are you a Milwaukee Brewer fan? Or are you a San Francisco Giants fan? There you go. Ooh, I got four 100s. Let's go. That's a big time fan right there. It's Orange October. I'm wearing the hat. All October. Until the Giants win the whole thing, baby. Pink October too. Shout out to breast cancer awareness. I actually have a breast cancer awareness tattoo right here. Pink October as well. That's right. Appreciate the contributions that's been rolling in already. Obviously, we have a lot to talk about. Got the San Francisco 49ers. A lot going on with Kyle Shanahan. Kyle, Jimmy, Trey Lance. What is he? And now Stephon Gilmore. Stephon Gilmore was released. Shocker. Shocking everybody. Shocked everybody. Here we go. 49ers, Giants, and San Jose Sharks. We all live the same teams, but Matt, I got to ask you, favorite basketball team? Warriors? I'm a Laker fan, so. BLA, let's go. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, all my people. My guy Dion, what's good, baby? We're filling up in here. I think when we get to 100 people, we'll really get this thing rolling. In the meantime, any questions y'all have, man, make sure y'all put those in the chat right now. We got the super chats going up. I appreciate everybody. Tanya, I appreciate you. San Francisco Giants fan here from Frisco. Let's go. You know what, Tanya? So you're from Frisco. So I want you to kind of speak on this because there's been this big, I don't want to say divide, but like discussion if Frisco is okay to say. Now, my people all say Frisco, but I see on Twitter people are saying it's not okay to say Frisco. You just said Frisco. You're from Frisco. I've always thought it was okay, but there's been like this big thing amongst 49er fans if people should say Frisco or San Fran and all that, man. I know, people call it the city. Got some 209ers in here. What's good? We got 80 people in here. Once we get to 100, we'll get it rolling to the actual show. Right now, I'm just enjoying the company of my people. And the Laker fans since I was 9 years old. So we like all the same teams. That's crazy. I'm trying to, once I realized, damn, people really watching this morning show, I was like, you know what? I gotta come correct. So I got the new mic. Shout out to my bro, Malik Matthews. You know what I'm saying? Told me to come pick it up. He bought me the mic. Try to put some little LED lights up. I got to get those things right. You know what I'm saying? New mic, new headphones. I was like, man, let me come correct, man, if I'm going to be on here. But shout out to the contributions that are already rolling in. Tanya, I appreciate you. Matt, we like the same squads. Let's go. We're up to 90 people. You know what? We're up to 90 people. Let's get it going. Obviously, in 15 minutes, I got a special guest coming on. He's also going to talk to you guys about some of this stuff. Stephon Gilmore, the fit. I'm pretty sure some of you 49er fans who have, are tuned into 49ers content creators, you guys will recognize this guy. I promise you. I'll give you a hint. He looks like Austin Rivers. Let's go. Bang, bang, 9 again. You guys are in here live this morning. So how many of y'all, let's see, I'm trying to get some participation here. If you're on the West Coast, put a flame in there. Because you guys are up early. What is it, 6:45 on the West Coast? I'm Central Time Zone, so. Here we go. Everyone, go like and subscribe. Yes, sir. Go like and subscribe. You know what? I haven't even, where's my YouTube? I don't think I turned on my, 1 second, y'all. 1 second. Here we go. Croc Talk TV. Appreciate everybody in here right now. Forgot to do something with the YouTube part of it. Here we go. Got to turn monetization on and boom. Save. All right. Let me edit this real quick. Appreciate everybody in here right now. You guys are up and at it this morning. The chat is live. Here we go. All right, got my tags right. Okay. Let's get it rolling. So, watching from the Netherlands. Let's go, man. We worldwide. We got some Sacramento folks in here. That ain't far from the crib. I'm from the 209. I'm from Stockton. We got 100 people in here. Everybody. Croc Top University. What up, coach? It's one of my coaches right there. I coach with him. That's my dog right there. Let's go. All right, so let's get into it. Stephon Gilmore released. What's going on with Stephon Gilmore? It's been a really weird situation over there in New England. I'm not sure what to make of it. Mississippi in here, Japan in here. Ooh, we worldwide. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. But I'm not sure what to make of it. He has been dealing with an injury. All right. He's been on the pup list. He started the season on the pup list. He's not even, if you were to go get Stephon Gilmore, can't play him right now. He's hurt. So that's something that teams are going to have to take into account. Now you have to ask yourself, with his contract, because a team like the 49ers who don't have a lot of cap space, how do the 49ers make it work signing a Stephon Gilmore? Right now, him being a free agent, you can pay him whatever he's willing to take to come play. Where does he want to play? Does it have to be a winner? How does he view the 49ers? I'd say, just trying to gauge the temperature of the 49er fans. I'd say a lot of y'all, and I'm not saying all of y'all, but a lot of y'all feel like maybe the 49ers aren't a playoff team or aren't a Super Bowl team. So if you are Stephon Gilmore and you have your choice to go anywhere you want to go, for the most part, right? I think he's gonna have a good amount of teams. He's gonna be able to pick from at least like 10 teams, I would assume. You have Adam Schefter, who came out and said the interest is robust. That's the word he used. All right, so seems like a lot of people would be tapping in, trying to figure out what's going on with Stephon Gilmore. How serious is the injury? Can he return back to 2019 form at the age of 31? How does he fit with their scheme and what it is that they want to do? Now, when it comes to Stephon Gilmore, I've heard a couple things. All right, I talked to a player, and he said Stephon Gilmore, what they did with him, they actually tried to do kind of the bare minimum from a mental standpoint. And this is somebody that kind of play with the Patriots, all right? And I had a question about something that they were doing. He answered the question, but he also told me about Stephon Gilmore, where Stephon Gilmore, he's more of a guy that you say, go guard him. All right. So the mental aspect of it and what it is that you want to do and all that, I don't know how much he picks up on those type of things. I'm pretty sure. I mean, he's an NFL cornerback. He's been in the league for a really long time, a seasoned veteran. I'm sure it won't be that big of an issue, no matter what the transition is. But he is somebody who they simplified things for Stephon Gilmore. So if you are the 49ers, if you are, God forbid, the Kansas City Chiefs, or any of these other teams that might need cornerback help, the New Orleans Saints, that's another team, right? Who was it that the Detroit Lions, right? They lost Jeffrey Okudah for the year. Now, I would assume that the Lions aren't even in this picture. I would think that he wants to compete more than that. If he just wanted to play football, maybe a team like that, but I'm assuming he wants to compete. Can the 49ers, John Lynch and those guys, convince him that this is the right place for him? Because whatever contract he signs is going to be for 1 year. 1 year. And he's going to want to make a push for the Super Bowl, not just playoffs. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Because Stephon Gilmore, he's been a part of a high-level organization for the past however many years since going to New England from Buffalo. He knows what it looks like. He knows how a team should be preparing, and those are going to be his goals 100%. So I guess the question is, do the 49ers provide that? Do the 49ers provide a place for him that he feels he can potentially reach the promised land? Y'all let me know what y'all think about that question there. Think about it like this. If you were, and this is with me saying that the 49ers are interested. 49ers are interested, they want him, right? But also there's going to be a good amount of other teams that want Stephon Gilmore. But him looking at all his teams and all the options that he has, if you are Stephon Gilmore and the 49ers come calling, do you look at them like a Super Bowl contender? And if you are in his shoes, would the 49ers be a team that you sign with? I want to see y'all responses here in the chat. I hope so. Yeah, I feel that. I got a lot of people in the chat on Twitter. All right, there's probably 90 people over there in the chat on Twitter. Make sure you guys head over to YouTube, Croc Talk TV. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. That means we got over 200 people live watching right now for the morning show. I'll do this every morning, man. I saw somebody ask, where was it at? Where was it at? And that's how quick this stuff happens. Oh, how can I get me a Crocker jersey? Maybe I'll do a giveaway or something. It won't be this one. I have a green one too, like that. If you like the San Jose SaberCats, we won the championship that year. I got my ring right here. Let's go. Stop playing. Got my championship ring right here. Little icy, just a little bit. So we won the whole thing right there. My first championship I ever won in my life. How do you get a jersey? Maybe we can do a gift giveaway. All right. Now again, it have to be probably San Jose SaberCat. I got some arena jerseys. But yeah. We can do a giveaway. A morning show giveaway. Here we go. I definitely want a Crocker jersey. Let's go. Louisiana in here. Let's go. So Johnny, man, where you at? Are we going to watch a game together? Because I live in Southeast Arkansas. I'm down here. I'm near Louisiana. And I'm not gonna lie, man, I watch the games by myself on weekends. So you ever want somebody to watch the game with, and you're not too far from Southeast Arkansas, which I'm probably about 45 minutes from Louisiana. You ever want somebody to watch the game with, man, hit me, slide through. I'll throw some stuff on the grill and we can chill and watch the 49ers game. Yes, sir. All right, here we go. Croc, educated guess. What do you think Stephon Gilmore signs? Ooh, okay. If I'm him, if obviously the team has to have some money. Here's something to think about. The Dallas Cowboys, they just released Jalen Smith. Now, I don't know what happens with Jalen Smith's contract. I don't know if that frees up money. But the Dallas Cowboys, you got Trevon Diggs over there at corner. The other side for the Dallas Cowboys is a little up in the air. Do the Dallas Cowboys make a move for Stephon Gilmore? Does it make sense? I think it does. Because, again, he's probably looking at a chance to really win it all. If you look at the Cowboys, the way they're kind of constructed and how they are playing right now, they got the quarterback. So they still owe Jalen Smith $7 million. Does the $7 million that they owe Jalen Smith count against their current cap? I'm not a cap person, so I can't really answer that question. But if there is a way for the Cowboys to make room for Stephon Gilmore, and if I'm Stephon Gilmore, and we know how Jerry Jones gets down. Jerry Jones, if Jerry Jones wants something, he's going to go get it. All right, so if I'm Stephon Gilmore, I'm going to the Cowboys. And that's tough for me to say. That is tough for me to say because my big brother, he's a diehard Dallas Cowboy fan, and I hate the Cowboys. But on this show, and as you guys know with my takes, I have to be, I can't be objective. So, all right. So he's still owed money. Can the Cowboys have enough money? Can they create enough space to bring in a Stephon Gilmore? And if they do, they're automatically possibly a Super Bowl favorite. They got everything else. They got the run game. They got the quarterback. They got the receivers. The defense is flying around. Trevon Diggs, 5 interceptions in 4 games? Stop playing. Safeties are flying around. Like, if I'm Jerry Jones, I'm on the phone right now. What do I got to do to get you here? And try to get a ring. Put this ring back up. Again, I appreciate everybody that's in the chat right now. Make sure you guys, if you're not already, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hit that like button right now. There's like 100 of you who hasn't liked the stream yet. Yeah, man. 100 of y'all haven't liked the stream yet. Make sure y'all hit that like button. If you're over on Twitter, come over. Come over to YouTube, Croc Talk TV. Hit that like button. So, yeah, I don't see Stephon Gilmore going to the Panthers. Panthers, they have Dante Jackson right now. They also just traded for CJ Henderson. Got beat for a touchdown, but probably trying to get his feet wet. But they just traded for CJ Henderson. And they still have their young guy coming back. But I don't think the Panthers, I'm telling you, man, if I'm him, I'll go to the Cowboys. There we go. Just press like. I appreciate it. In a few minutes, I got my guy coming on. He's coming on in 3 minutes. He's going to come live and direct with y'all. It's going to be somebody, if you are a 49er fan, I think you're going to like this guy. If you're into 49er content creators, you'll like him. Again, if you're over on Twitter, come over to YouTube, Croc Talk TV. Let's get it. I can't stand the Cowboys. Man, Tanya, I can't either. I can't either. Okay, here we go. This is a good one. The Chargers have a team and more cap space. That's a good one. The Chargers. I don't know. One, the Cowboys just beat the Chargers. And in my head, I just watching and just to eye test. And again, I mean, we're talking about the Chargers that had a really good, impressive divisional win over the Raiders, really good divisional win over the Chiefs. That was big time. Chiefs last in that division right now, 2-2. Maybe no panic, I don't know. But 49ers, we're panicking over here. We're 2-2. Chiefs, I don't think they're panicking. I think they'll figure it out. But if I'm Stephon Gilmore, and again, say I got the same money on the table. Same, 1 year, $7 million, whatever it is for the rest of this year, right? And I have to choose between the Chargers and the Cowboys. I'm going with the Cowboys. Right now, and this is just me being realistic and not objective, because that's how I have to get my takes on here. If I'm Stephon Gilmore and I have the options to kind of sign in different, I'm probably not picking the Niners. If I have a Cowboys, if I have a New England Patriots, if I have a Chargers to pick from. 1 second, y'all. This dog is going crazy out here. 1 second. All right, here we go. But yeah, it would take a lot for me. Like the 49ers just have to pay way more than some of these other teams. Cap space, and I see the cap space comment right here. Cowboys and 49ers are about the same cap space. And the good thing about cap space, you can maneuver it and work it however it is that you want. So if the 49ers truly wanted to make it work to get Stephon Gilmore, they can figure it out. Cowboys or 49ers. They can figure it out. Got to move some stuff around. Somebody going to have to make a little bit of a sacrifice and get their money moved around. But you can make it work. However, if that's a guy that you really want. Ooh, Buffalo. Bills have $18 million. They could get Gilmore back. If I'm Gilmore, and they got the money and they got the space, that's a decent landing spot. You got the quarterback. Not sure if they got the run game, but he definitely would help that defense out. See Arizona Cardinals in here. How about the Arizona Cardinals? I think that's a place, what I'm saying? They just got out from underneath a veteran and Patrick Peterson. I'm looking at, they got some young guys, and they got some young guys that are starting to play well. Got Marco Wilson. He's a rookie. Marco Wilson was somebody that people, I don't want to say they were down on, but he was coming out of Florida. Had some weird things kind of happen there. But one of the best pro days ever. Jumped out the roof. And there's a lot of people that have manufactured 40 times and things like that. But Marco Wilson, I mean, his vertical was like 43. His broad jump was like damn near 12 feet. Ran in the 4.3s. Impressive athletic profile. I didn't quite see that on film, but that ability has carried over to the NFL, and he's done well. But here we go. I got our guest on. All right, I got our guest on. Gilmore doesn't like the Bills. Okay, he might be out there. So I brought y'all a guest for this morning. I got him to wake up pretty early. How's that, Rabbit? Maybe towards the end of the show, if you stick around, I'll bring the Rabbit in here, Peter Rabbit. Uh, I think this is gonna be a real thing, right? A real morning show. So I wanted to bring on a guest, so you guys don't have to just hear me talking. Obviously, when he gets off, I'll be able to bring some of y'all in here and we'll talk it out and whatever's on your mind about the 49ers, Stephon Gilmore, uh, Jimmy Garoppolo, Trey Lance, all that good stuff. I'll get you guys on here so you guys can come on live and talk. But with no further ado, my guy, Austin Rivers. Excuse me, Jason.
Woke
What's
up
up?
this morning still hurting about the Yankees, still repping, but it is what it is, man. We take the loss like a man. So
Listen, if you want a shirt, I got some real giant shirts too. If you want a hat, I know you want to be a part of, the gang Orange October. That's what this is. You know what I'm saying? You already know what time it is. Best team in baseball. If you want to be on now, and I know you might be one of those people that's doubting us. There's a lot of people that are like, oh, y'all not the best, whatever. Okay, we're gonna see because we don't got, the big name pitching staff, all that, whatever. But anyways, you came on here, man, and I wanted to get you on here. As you can see, the chat is rolling already. You guys have any questions? You guys got questions for Aponte? Man, throw those in the chat. It's a lot easier to see super chats. We get to all those. So make sure super chats, keep them rolling in. I appreciate everybody in here. If you haven't already, make sure you guys like, make sure you guys subscribe. But Aponte, my dog, Stephon Gilmore, what's your initial thoughts?
yeah, I mean, obviously, cornerbacks that need something that I was worried about all offseason. This is a surprise cut a little bit, but again, this is the Patriots way, right? The Patriots will always find a way to, hey, listen, if you're not going to be down with whatever the contract, then we're just going to make a move. But in terms of like what the 49ers should do, it depends on what he's going to try to come over here for and what he's got left in the tank. I'll leave that to you, like how much you think he has left in the tank, Croc. Like, what do you think about Gilmore right now and what he can bring to the team?
He's somebody when watching him, and I think 2020 was a little bit of a down year. I think he was dealing with, different injuries and stuff. Obviously, 2019 defensive MVP. He might not be defensive MVP, but he's good. Like, there's signing him. You're not like, well, we signed him, but he's limited here and there. You might question how much he has left in the tank overall, like playing at an elite level, but he still is more than capable of playing really good. Now, again, a bit of a down year last year, maybe one of his worst years, but I do think he was dealing with some injuries and stuff. Feel like this year, if you want him for a season, for the rest of this year, for a big push, this is the time. This is the time to get him.
Right, and I have no problem with it as long as the contract makes sense, right? I mean, in the 49ers, it depends on how much money they actually have at this point, because I'm not really too good with the cap numbers or anything like that. But he would absolutely help this team. I agree with you, Croc. He definitely would. I mean, think about being able to start Gilmore and Mosley while giving Lenore some time to build himself back up. Obviously, the Jason Verrett thing was a bummer, but Gilmore would fall into that sort of role of being like that as well too. And what I noticed also is, and it's been happening all year so far, is the 49ers are going to be playing a lot more man, and Gilmore can fit that a little bit better. I mean, Mosley played great, though,
Definitely.
this week. Mosley played great this week. Thanks a lot, Boogie Jones. I appreciate that. But Mosley played great this week, honestly. And, look, Metcalf and Lockett, they were both under the league average of separation of yards in that game, both of them. And that meant that everybody was doing their job. But Mosley impressed me a lot, too, because he had a PBU on a nice throw against with DK Metcalf. So it would be really nice for this defense, and it would really help them out to do what they want to do, and feel a little bit more safe on the back end to send some more blitzes. Like I cut up a clip yesterday of Jimmy Ward in a fire zone on Palms, and it confused the hell out of the Seattle. Like, Kinlaw had a free rush, and Russell Wilson couldn't even throw the ball in time, and Mosley drove on Metcalf. Those are the type of things that you can do now that you have a Gilmore like that. So it all depends on how aggressive the front office is. I mean, I would think that he fits there, but I don't know if they're going to go ahead and do anything, Croc. I just don't think that that's what they want to do at this point. I don't think that they're going to go look at it.
I don't think. Well, first, let me address some of the comments in here about
Mhm.
Emmanuel Mosley. Mosley is somebody that has played well. We had one person say 49ers should extend him. Joe said that. Jamal Armstrong said Mosley just signed a 2-year deal. If I'm Mosley, I don't sign. I don't do anything, right? If you play out this year, if Mosley continues to play at the level that he's playing at now, which is a really good level, he's playing very well. I think they look to extend him next year because he's only making like 5 million this year, 5 million next year. That for a starting NFL corner, that's
Mhm.
really nothing. You got guys coming in making 10 million easily, even more than that. So if I'm Emmanuel Mosley, I play out this year, sees what happens, and then next year, if I'm Emmanuel Mosley or going into the offseason or whatever, I'm looking for an extension and I'm looking to get, you know, 10 plus, 12, 13, 14, $15 million a year, which seems like a lot. But if he continues to play at this level, I think he is somebody that can get paid big money. 49ers might have a gem on their hand. And for all the things that 49ers are knocked for, from, the decisions they make or draft picks and things like that, they've also got, struck gold, no pun intended, on guys like Emmanuel Mosley, who he's definitely going to make a lot of money going forward if he continues playing at this level. Um, Kendrick Bourne, he's a guy, he didn't make a lot of money for the Niners, but went off to New England and made some money. So I like where Mosley is at right now. Definitely a guy that potentially could get signed moving forward and make some decent money. Mosley is injury prone. Don't extend him. But they've already extended him to an extent. 2 years. It really was more of a because they were going to have him this year on the he was a restricted free agent. So
Mhm.
that little tender or whatever, it wasn't going to be that much money. They did. I think they gave him 2 years to be able to move some money around and maneuver a little bit different. And I think eventually, if he continues playing at this level, you're going to have to pay him a little bit more.
Yeah, absolutely. I love what Mosley's been doing. I maintain that he was going to be so vital to the success of this team because after him, there's a lot of question marks. It doesn't look like Ambry Thomas right now is ready. Lenore has actually played well, but then you start to get into for everything that happened last week too. Drake Kirkpatrick actually, aside from that one pass interference, which is the thing that he does all the time, pretty much. I think he's like
Right.
one of the most penalized guys. He actually played all right, man, and the same thing with Dante Johnson. So I mean, obviously Gilmore's better than those guys as well too. But if this team has aspirations to go a little bit deeper into the playoffs, I think they should explore this option. Absolutely. Who knows if they will? I just don't think they will. I don't know if they're going to be that aggressive at this point.
Right. So here's something that I think we keep kind of forgetting about this guy, right? And if you're
Mm-hmm.
somebody like me, who I do believe in the power of development, right? You have to develop your own, and you can't just continue to throw a bunch of money at different positions when you've already drafted guys to potentially be a guy. But maybe again, and if we're talking for this year, it's Stephon Gilmore makes sense. There's going to be time for Ambry Thomas to develop, and right now, obviously, he hasn't hit the ground running. He's been outplayed by Diamador Lenore. Now, Lenore, they have put him back in a reserve position, but I do think moving forward, I feel comfortable that he could be the 49ers starting nickel next year, right? Ambry Thomas, we don't know what he is, but I do believe in guys developing. And I think moving forward, Ambry Thomas, we're going to be looking to see what he is next year. But for this year, when we need somebody to come in and really hold down the other side of the field, because right now they're throwing bodies at it, right? I mean, you go, all right, well, we need a cornerback, Josh Norman, or you bring Josh Norman, and then he goes down with a chest injury or whatever it was. Now it's like, all right, we got to throw in Dante Johnson on the outside. We got a rookie playing on the outside. Okay, let's go get Drake Kirkpatrick to play on the outside. And right now, they're just throwing bodies at that position when it's like, you know what? I get it. Right now, Stephon Gilmore, he's a little banged up, and we'll see how he feels moving forward. But when he comes out to the public, if he is 100%, I think a team like the 49ers, who have been looking for someone to solidify that other side for this year, if the goal is still championship, right? The goal is still Super Bowl. He definitely is a guy that you have to make a move for right now. If obviously the money, if you can get the money part of it right.
Right, absolutely. And then, again, think about this division right now. The way that Arizona's moving, they have all of these receivers that are playing very well. The Rondell Moore thing is working out splendidly for them right now at this point. You still have DK and Tyler, again, one more time on the docket. Who knows how much of the injury affected Tyler Lockett in this game, but, the secondary played very well. But at the same time, Gilmore would be a welcome addition and clearly the best, the best corner on this roster real fast as soon as he joins.
Yeah, and I forgot about Buster Screen. That's
Buster
another guy
Screen.
that they just signed in. I was a little surprised. So last game, where I was thinking heading into the game, they signed Buster Screen. I'm like, oh, okay, he's Buster Screen is insurance. All right, he's insurance. You got Diamador Lenore. You could play him in the slot. Okay, you got Drake practice, but they actually played Dante Johnson in the slot. And for all the hate that Dante Johnson gets, never heard his name. Maybe one time. I don't know. I didn't even hear his name, which is good. Right? If you don't hear Dante Johnson's name, that's good. And I think more times than not, Dante Johnson he's been solid. And I think that's the value with a Dante Johnson being your fifth corner, being your sixth corner, where a lot of people are like, how does he make it? But his versatility, his ability to just fill in, his ability to, know the scheme, be around. He's a veteran. You don't want to have to play Dante Johnson, but if you do, he is someone that has been able to fill in. Now, saying that, I did not expect him to be starting nickel. I thought he was going to be back to the bench. He started at nickel. I thought it was going to be a Diamador Lenore. It was not Lenore. I thought if it wasn't Lenore, it was going to be Screen. It was not Screen, but it was Dante Johnson. So that was something very interesting to see. And we got the people hating on my dog, Dante Johnson, man. Dante Johnson is trash. He's okay. All right. So we got to bring some perspective here. Yep. And if you guys aren't already, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We got over 300 people in here. Hit the like button right now, subscribe button, all that good stuff. Excuse me, I need to put your stuff in the description so you guys can follow my guy. You go ahead real quick. You can shout out your YouTube page and everything.
Yeah, Jason Aponte on YouTube. At Jason Aponte 2103 on Twitter. For you guys who want to catch up with me daily or whatever. But yeah, Jason Aponte on YouTube.
All right, so back to Dante Johnson real quick. And I don't want to spend a whole lot of time talking about Dante Johnson. But I think what we have to do is we have to start looking at a guy for who he is and what is the purpose of him, right? Everybody's not going to come in and be a pure shutdown number one corner, right? And that's not the expectations for everybody. Everybody's not going to come in and be a legit number two corner or a great nickel, right? But there are some guys that you kind of keep around because in a pinch, you can play them, and you can play them in different ways. And the more versatility somebody has, the more value they have. So Dante Johnson, I get it, guys. If he was your starting cornerback and you went into the season saying Dante Johnson is our starting corner heading into the season, I would say Dante Johnson is dookie, like y'all are saying in here. Dante Johnson is trash. That is not ideal. But as the sixth corner in their last resort, I think from that standpoint, Dante Johnson is fine. Now, again, I'm not saying he's great, but he's your sixth guy. He comes in, he plays a game against the Seattle Seahawks, and at no point was he ever the issue. And I think that's what you have to look for. And again, it might, 49ers play Arizona. If they start him, maybe he gets cooked against Arizona. I don't know. But I'm just saying, for what he is, he does well in that role.
Right.
So I think you have to kind of change your expectations of what you believe your starting cornerback should look like when you have to play Dante Johnson, because that's not what he was brought in to be.
Right. I think that's a great point, though, honestly, because it's true. He's the sixth cornerback, and this is just in a pinch. Also, do not discount the fact that Kyle Shanahan and his coaching staff, they clearly trust him. And remember, when you're in the circle of trust, it's like meet the parents. When you're in the circle of trust, you get to do whatever you want, right? So when and I'll point to this. When I was at camp, when Mosley wasn't out there in the beginning, it was Verrett and it was Dante Johnson on the other side. So again, it's less about really what you expect from this guy and more about what this coaching staff trusts about him, and they trust him. And again, last year, when he tore his groin against the Eagles, and we talked about this before, Croc, that throw that Carson Wentz made was probably a 1 in a million throw that he'll ever make. Dante Johnson was in perfect position, tore his groin on the play, and Travis Fulgham, who's not even on a roster anymore, made a great catch. All the circumstances come together. And I don't really want to hear too much about, this missed sack, because Russell Wilson does that to everybody, right? I mean, he did the best he could. Russell Wilson escapes almost all of those sacks anyway as well, too. But again, as a sixth cornerback, he's fine. And if he was your cornerback one, then you definitely should be worried. But he's not that. And it should never get to a point where Dante Johnson has to be forced into roles like this. It's just this is what it is right now with the injuries and the state of the position based on guys not being ready. So, I mean, that's it, really. I mean, again, as a sixth cornerback, he's fine. But, yeah, just put some perspective on it a little bit. You just don't want him starting outside. You don't want him trying to lock up DeAndre Hopkins, or you don't want him trying to, go against, Terry McLaurin. You don't want those things. That's not ideal. But, again, that's not the plan at all. So.
Right. Yeah, we see some people, they caught the reference of breaking the circle of trust. Gaylord Fokker,
yeah.
broke the circle of trust.
Broke the circle of trust.
All right. I want to ask you, because I didn't just bring you on to get your opinion on Stephon Gilmore or Dante Johnson, but I also want to ask you about the 49ers from a fantasy perspective, because I think, this is a team that the running back position, we don't know what's going on there. All right. The receiver position, Deebo Samuel is going crazy. He leads the NFL in receiving. How sustainable is that? All right. I want to Brandon Ayuk. People were expecting him to come in and be the guy. Not to toot my own horn or pat my own back, but I said Deebo is the guy when it comes to fantasy, because they're going to figure out, but it's easy to get him the ball. It's easy to get him involved. He's so versatile. I think the biggest issue when it comes to him is he, how comfortable are you playing an entire season with him? But I from a fantasy standpoint, I want to start with this. One, and I'll kind of go position by position. All right. Do you play Trey Lance or Jimmy Garoppolo? Is that somebody that you're looking to start at all? Or do you say, you know what? I don't know how this is going to look. I need to let this kind of breathe a little bit and play it out and see that's if you have Jimmy or Trey Lance.
Right. I mean, in a single quarterback league, right, Trey Lance has to be rostered at this point. But, I mean, waivers went through last night, so I'm sure that's already happening. In a two-quarterback league, Trey Lance absolutely has to be started. Think about this. In one half, and you have to remember, we're talking fantasy football, not real football. Trey Lance had 20 fantasy points, outscored guys who played an entire game. And that's what he does with his legs. That rushing floor that he gives you, it raises his value. So if Jimmy Garoppolo is not out there on Sunday, Trey Lance is absolutely a start. Because, again, it doesn't really matter who wins the game. Trey Lance is going to give you his points. So I would absolutely, be running to go get Trey Lance. It's the same reason that people want to make sure that they get their hands on a guy like Josh Allen, right? Josh Allen can throw the ball, but Josh Allen raises his floor with his legs. Lamar Jackson, those type of guys. So for fantasy football, it's a little bit skewed when it comes to quarterbacks, because those rushing yards, they go right up. And if he gets 60 yards, that's 6 points right there. That's just off the floor, right? And then now anything else is extra on top. So, yes, Trey Lance is absolutely a start this week against Arizona. If you guys were able to get your hands on him, I would love to start him this week. I have no problem with it, unless it's a single quarterback league and you have a better option. Even look at it like this, Croc. A guy like Sam Darnold, he leads the league in rushing touchdowns right now. He's like the quarterback 4 so far this year. So those rushing touchdowns and that rushing floor is so valuable in fantasy football. Trey Lance obviously showed you a glimpse of that in his first game, 20 points in a half. That's exactly what he can do. He can literally give you those 20, 30-point games if he plays a whole game. And, I would rush to try to start him if I don't have a better option at this point. In two quarterback leagues, absolutely has to be started, hands down, no question.
All right, so if Trey Lance is the guy, and you're talking about him, rushing for touchdowns and kind of getting those points, but you got Trey Sermon, you got Elijah Mitchell. Do you play one of those guys with Trey Lance starting, knowing there's a chance that Trey Lance can take some of their touchdowns and potentially some of their fantasy points?
He can, but also, and this, he's opening up so much for Trey Sermon, right? Trey Sermon actually had a really good game yesterday. They ran the ball last week. They ran the ball very well, especially in between the tackles. He improved right away. He improved. I understand that it was Seattle's defense. I get that. But at the same time, when that ball is in the mesh point in the stomach of Trey Sermon or whoever it is, those outside rushers and those linebackers have to freeze. And by the time they figure out who has the ball, either it's Trey Sermon or if it's Trey Lance, it's going the other way. I would love to start Trey Sermon too as well. But the only thing that kind of muddies the water is it looks like Elijah Mitchell is going to be out of his blue contact jersey. So he's going to actually, be involved again with Kyle Shanahan. What's going to be the slice of the pie for those guys, right? Is it going to be Trey Sermon more, or is it going to be Elijah Mitchell, who in week 1 went crazy. So I think that's something to monitor. But I would like to start Trey Sermon in this game. I just don't know what is. I mean, unless we get a tip from, maybe one of the beat writers, or maybe Kyle tips it off in the press conference that Elijah Mitchell is going to be more involved. You definitely want to have a running back now who, if they're playing with Trey Lance, is going to have way more opportunities and see those rushing lanes are going to open up because they're so worried about Trey Lance. So I would be fine starting either of those. I would just try to watch the notes of practice, who's progressing a little bit better. Maybe get a tip from Kyle Shanahan or maybe one of the beat writers on who could be the lead back. But Trey Sermon did nothing in this last game to lose that role. I don't believe. I think that he did great in pass pro, and I thought that he looked really good running the ball, even when Jimmy Garoppolo was in there. Now we're talking about with Trey Lance, that kind of boosts his stock. And yeah, you're right. Maybe Trey Lance at the goal line is going to take some of his rushing yards away and things like that, or his touchdowns. But at the same time, you still got to roll with him because of what Trey Lance is going to do to his defense, to defenses, and open things up for Trey Sermon. So I would love to find out. You just got to find out who is going to be the lead back and what the slice is going to be.
I like talking about this fantasy football because it kind of gives me a chance to. There's two sides to this, right? We look at Elijah Mitchell, and I don't know how many fantasy points Elijah Mitchell had in his first game, but most of his production came off of one run.
One run.
I think between that and the following game, or outside of that one run, that was a long touchdown run, and the following game, his yards per carry was probably very pedestrian, maybe around 2 yards per carry.
2.3.
Is it? So I think a lot of people, they look at it because I see people, man, like, no, he's a game breaker. He's this and he's that. And maybe he is. But I know on a consistent basis, it's hard for me to look at him like he's going to be the guy because the yards weren't coming consistently. Now, maybe a Trey Lance can help with that, right? Look at Trey Lance, and you talked about it. Ball being there at the mesh point. Is he going to keep it? Is he going to pull it? That's going to open up run lanes, which I have a big bone to pick with Kyle Shanahan because, dude, you've had the threat of this entire time, and you decided not to use it, and your running backs are out there averaging 2 yards a carry. All right, so that's ridiculous, and I don't get that. And if you guys want to get on Kyle Shanahan about that, and when it comes to play calling, I get it. But I'm curious to see with Elijah Mitchell, is it more is the hype more from that one run, or is he just a legit back?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, in camp, he was the best receiving back, not named Kyle Juszczyk also, right? But that's not necessarily how he was used in his first game, right? Like against the Lions. He didn't really get too much of that, right? So I'm interested to see if he turns into a third down guy, if that's somebody who they use on third down in obvious passing situations. But again, Trey Sermon, for all the stuff that he had, going against him because of the way he started against the Packers game, he looked great this week. And and again, like you said, I definitely have a bone to pick too, right? With, man, all of a sudden in a pinch, you have to play Trey Lance and look at all this stuff that's opened up. And it's like, man, I'm not Kyle Shanahan. I'm not an offensive genius, but we all would have known that that's exactly what was going to happen because that's
right.
That's exactly what Trey Lance does, right? Like literally, I believe it was Baldy. He did a whole breakdown of like at the mesh point, the outside linebackers are just standing there waiting. Like they're just trying to wait to see. And by the time they figure it out, Sermon's already up the field, like and in between the tackles. So all of the threat of that run right there, it is annoying that it took an injury or whatever it is. I don't know what the heck's going on. I'm not even here to speculate on that for them to get to this when you had that. And that's what they were doing in camp as well. All those zone reads and everything, they were ripping those off. And it was like 20, 30 yards for Lance, Mitchell, whoever it was. So it's so hard to stop because you definitely don't want Lance to get outside because he has the speed to beat you. But yeah, it's a little frustrating to find out that it literally took something like this to happen for this to happen on the field when anybody could have kind of seen that coming when it comes to the run game.
And also, and we're talking about the run game and how Trey Lance opens up the run game, but he has to pass the ball as well. And we've seen some of the ugly moments, and those might be the reasons why Kyle Shanahan is like, you know what? He's not ready because he's missing this gimme pass. I can't make it easier for you. You're down there, just a long handoff, and you throw the ball in the dirt behind George Kittle on a flat route. But then you see some of the things that he does well in the passing game, and we saw some of it that he does well in the preseason. And I have a lot of people that are asking like, well, which one is Trey Lance? Is Trey Lance the person we saw when he first got in the game as a passer, or is he the guy that we saw on the last drive? And my answer is Trey Lance at this moment is both of those guys. He's going to be wildly inaccurate and have these bad misses, but he's also going to give you these explosive plays, these plays with his legs, these plays that get you out of a pinch that can result in touchdowns. So I think he's both of those guys. Here we go. My guy, Miguel Santana, I appreciate the contribution. Let's go. Keep those things rolling in. Can you guys break down the 49ers how the 49ers offense can beat the Arizona Cardinals this week? All right. What are your thoughts? First of all, I don't know. I was actually watching Arizona last night because I wanted to come on here and talk about them this morning, but I fell asleep. It was on NFL Network late last night. So I have not like just fully dove into watching in the Arizona Cardinals game. But knowing who they are and what they've been, the electric Kyler Murray back there, and what they are in theory of being this team with just this loaded, crazy offense. How do you think the 49ers offense attacks their defense?
You have to slow down the pass rush. You can't let Chandler Jones get out there and pin his ears back and go, right? So that's what the running game does, right? You have to keep him at bay, keep him outside. Keep the same thing with JJ Watt, right? Chandler Jones starts the year with, what was it? I believe he had like 4 sacks, something like that in the first game, slowed up a little bit, but you can't allow him to get back there in obvious passing situations and try to go get Trey Lance, right? Like that's, if you have to protect the rook. So what you need to do is, one, quick passes, quick decisions, define reads for the kid, and make sure that that running game is humming, because you need to have that sort of threat. Otherwise, those guys are just going to straight come for him, and you don't want that. Like, you definitely don't want that for the kid, because, you know, what he was going through last week was not seeing the field fully, and that's fine. He's a rookie. Like, that's what another thing that people just need to understand. Like, as bad as listen, all of these rookie quarterbacks struggled at one point during the season. Like, same thing with Trevor Lawrence, same thing with Justin Fields. You know, they all struggled in the beginning. And I think you need to keep that in perspective. I know everybody wanted Lance to start right away, but these are the part of the growing pains. But you live to deal with those growing pains because of what he can do with his legs. When the play breaks down, he can go do those things. But you have to keep Chandler Jones away from Trey Lance. You have to slow him down at least a little bit with the threat of the run. And you have to get him quick, defined reads, get that ball out fast, and get that play action working. Because if the play action works because of the running game, then the whole offense changes. It was really the only way that Jimmy Garoppolo was really completing passes for a large portion of, 2019, 2020. It's really a big part of that game. But with Trey Lance, you need to make sure that you keep Chandler Jones away from him, and you got to keep that pass rush at bay, because that secondary is actually playing very well. I was going to ask you about Byron Murphy, man. He had the pick 6 against Jacksonville. But what I was looking at when I watched a little of the All-22. There was a play where I believe it was Deshaun Jackson was running a deep crosser, and Byron Murphy, he played it perfectly, the technique, and he's coming into his own as well too. So you got Byron Murphy, you got Budda Baker's obviously back there as well too. So you have to find a way to get quick throws, easy throws for Trey Lance, but that secondary is no joke either right now. Like, Byron Murphy cuts off Deshaun Jackson as he's going up the field. It looked like it was going to be a touchdown, but he closed on it and he shut it down. And you know how fast Deshaun Jackson is. So Arizona defense is a little bit better. Which is crazy because
Byron Murphy's not known to be like a burner.
No, it was good.
When he was coming out, that was the question. That was the question with him. Like, well, he's a 4 or 5 guy. He's smaller. Doesn't have like the long limbs. He's not this big time vertical. Or you don't know how he's going to defend the vertical routes. But being able to run with Deshaun Jackson, who is running butt naked, that's what we call that, right? When Deshaun Jackson running butt naked. Who did the Rams play the previous week when he was just Tampa? When he just kept being like butt naked, wide open. It was like 3 times, a couple times it was underthrown. Finally, they got it to start the second half. But for Byron Murphy to be able to run with that, I think that's extremely impressive.
It was good. It was good technique. He, he closed on it and he was able to knock it down. So yeah, I mean, Arizona's a lot better than a lot of us thought that they would be. But yeah, I just want to make sure that they get him some easy throws. Get Trey Lance in rhythm. Like, get him to see like the throws, and get him to, like, it's almost like a basketball player, right? When you're missing shots or anything like that, you see like one layup go in, or you just see the ball go through the hoop, you feel better. So just get him those easy ones. Yeah, I know.
I said butt naked. My bad, man. Hey, Wesley, don't hold that. Hey, man.
Oh my God, man.
Okay. I got that. I do want to say, Wesley, that was a good one right there. I do want to say, look, I'm all like flustered now.
Yeah, that was good.
Trey Lance, for all the things, and okay, maybe some things that tick slow, whatever, with his reason, whatever, but I did see one thing that was extremely impressive, and maybe one of the more impressive things from a pure quarterback perspective with him that might go unnoticed because the ball ended up being knocked away. But he did something that he did in the preseason. All right, so take it back a little bit. 49ers are playing against the Chargers in the preseason. And Trey Lance looked left, held that linebacker, right, and then snapped back right, and boom, threw a dart over the middle to Travis Benjamin that resulted in a touchdown. And I'm like, man, like we can't. And again, don't attack me if y'all Jimmy fans and all that. Jimmy's solid, but we typically don't see Jimmy Garoppolo manipulate coverage with his eyes. He usually wants to get the ball out of his hands right now, and he'll squeeze it in there sometimes. Sometimes he'll squeeze the ball right to a linebacker. All right. But I was watching Trey Lance, and he held the linebacker. Look left, held him, came back, snap, boom, fired a rocket right to Travis Benjamin, catch, touchdown. Well, here we go. So, and it says Lance needs Sherfield on the field. This play actually involved Trey Lance and Sherfield. I'm watching Trey Lance. He looks left. He's trying to hold the linebacker to the right. All right. He's looking left, and he comes back right. He snaps a pass to Trent Sherfield, and Wagner dives and knocks the ball away. But I want to point out what Trey Lance did, and I wish I could pull that play up. I want to point out what Trey Lance did with, to me, it shows that he's headed in the right direction from the mental standpoint. And again, there are some things he's having to learn, right? He's going to have to learn. The game is moving fast for him right now. But you also see moments like that, and I'm pretty sure Kyle Shanahan will be encouraged by that, where it's like, man, look at my guy, understanding what he's getting from the defense pre-snap. He understands who, in theory, should be open. He's trying to work to hold the linebacker, snaps it, gets the ball out. Wagner, because he's Wagner, makes an amazing play. But I like seeing that because it shows me Trey Lance, the mind and what he's thinking is definitely on the right page. Now, the thing is, how do you get him to be consistent with that, with how he's seeing the field and stuff? And I think most people would tell you it's going to have to be the experience and going through those things so the game can start slowing, because he got tricked sometimes. I saw the Seahawks look like they were showing an overload blitz to the left, and Trey Lance thinking, okay, overload blitz, I got the double slants, I can throw into where the blitz is coming, it should be wide open. Well, what did the Seahawks do? They showed the overload blitz from the left, then they dropped into coverage, and he threw it right there, probably a pass that could have potentially been intercepted, right? Like, those are things that he's going to have to go through, but I like seeing what he's seeing and what he's thinking. I definitely think he's heading in the right direction.
Yeah, and that was a good point, right? Because he was doing that in camp as well, too, right? Like he's going through progressions. He just needs to go through them faster, and that'll come with time, right? With the experience. Right. I think another thing that people are frustrated about is that when Kyle Shanahan simplifies this offense for Jimmy Garoppolo, people are going to look and say, why aren't you simplifying it like this for Trey Lance? And what I mean by that is there's concepts and there's plays pre-snap where Jimmy Garoppolo has to look, pick a side of the field, and cut that other side of the field off. Like, you're literally not going to that side of the field. So those concepts should be in there for Trey Lance. And I think that's a lot of people's frustration. It's like, man, you held Jimmy Garoppolo's hand, who is a veteran, right? A veteran, been in this league 8 years. Why can't you simplify this offense in the same way for Trey Lance to get him rolling in the same way? So, I mean, I understand that. And you know me, I'm a big Kyle Shanahan supporter, but I understand people's frustration when it comes to that, because you're holding a veteran's hand, but you want to make it as easy like that for the rook, because the rook can do all those things. And he can also hit passes when things break down and do things differently. So I understand that portion of it with the frustration. And yeah, you're right. Trey Lance did go through his progressions in camp, and in that Chargers game, you could actually see that happening. So he is definitely headed in the right direction, but it's all about Kyle Shanahan putting him in advantageous spots. And if he is actually they're running the ball well, then boom, all that play action opens up and everything else. It's just that dynamic that Trey Lance offers. It's just not there with Jimmy Garoppolo. It's just not. And everybody knows that. And that's not a slight at him in any way. And anybody who has two eyes that was watching saw how quickly the offense changed, even if he had a whole half to do it. In one half, you already kind of saw what was going on. And one last thing, Seattle did not drop into any sort of prevent or anything like that. They did not go soft. He actually was pressured more, I felt like. What Seattle did when he got in there, they were like, okay, go blitz him now. Like, go get him. And it didn't work, right? So that's the thing as well, too. In one half, he kind of already showed you what he can do, especially when things are out of whack and in chaos. So,
right. Man, Jason, I appreciate you for coming on. Make sure, again, go ahead, tell everybody where they can find you, your Twitter, your YouTube, and everything that you got going on, your podcast, all that. Let everybody know.
Yeah, Croc, appreciate you having me on. So yeah, at Jason Aponte 2103 on Twitter, Jason Aponte on YouTube. And for the people asking, I am wearing my Yankee shirt because I go down with the ship. We don't switch sides on this side. So whatever, we took the loss, but I'm not here to run. That's why I'm wearing my shirt. And we'll be back next year, and you know the vibes. But Croc, we'll link up again, and we'll do the fantasy football thing, man. Thank you for having me on, bro.
All good, man. I appreciate you for coming on. That was my guy, Jason Aponte. Make sure you guys follow him on Twitter, Jason Aponte, 36797, blah, blah, blah. He got a bunch of numbers behind there. Great guy, high level guy, especially when it comes to the fantasy stuff. Love his input and his interaction with everybody on Twitter. But now I'm going to open up the floor for you guys for like the next 30 minutes. So we're going to try to get everybody in and out. If you have any questions, if you have anything that you want to touch on with the 49ers, things that you want to talk about, the link is right there in the chat. Come on live, speak your piece. All right, we got over 384 people in here, so make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button right now. All right, tell a friend, all that good stuff. There's actually a 49ers morning show. I'm Eric Crocker, of course. If you're new to this, Eric Crocker, former NFL and AFL defensive back. And we got our first guy in here, Matt. Matt,
Hey,
what's up, baby?
What up, Croc, man? Shit, man. What's going on with you, man?
Oh, man, just chilling, man. What's your thoughts on the whole Stephon Gilmore thing?
Oh, on the Stephon Gilmore thing, man, I don't know if we're going to have enough to be able to sign him. And I think he's going to want to go to a better contender, kind of like what you were saying earlier. Of course, I don't want to see the Cowboys with him. Who wants to see him go to our fucking rivals, man? I mean, sorry my bad for the
You're good, yeah.
But I don't want to see him go to our rivals, bro. You know what I'm saying? But they got a good defense right now. They playing really well. I'm kind of hoping that Jerry Jones do something crazy to mess him up or something.
Man, knowing Jerry Jones, man, and kind of just how Jerry Jones moves, he is definitely a guy that he's going to put whatever resources he could put into to getting his team right and getting them to be a Super Bowl contender, whether they're going to be or not. I feel like he's going to do that. So I'm curious to see if he, ends up making a push. I'm curious to see, if he really kind of pulls the trigger on this, because again, I think he is a guy that will. Any final thoughts on anything that's going on with the 49ers before I get my guy Dion on?
Oh yeah, I want to speak on this, man, like about Kyle's and his scheme. I want to know why all these different coaches could come up with different things and different plays off of his scheme, but he can't come up with new plays and come up with new designs off of his own scheme. How is people taking your scheme and doing better than you? If you're a genius, you should be able to come up with new things in your scheme. You got Stefanski with the Browns, Baker Mayfield using the scheme, the Vikings using the scheme, LaFleur and the Packers are using the scheme. How come he can't improve on what everybody else is doing to his scheme? That's my question. Like,
I appreciate that, man. I'm gonna answer that. I'm gonna bring you off air, man. Appreciate the question. I think the answer for that is pretty, I don't want to say simple, but I think it comes down to quarterback execution, right? And somebody says right here, K. Dot says, because Jimmy is limited. All right. I don't want to throw the Jimmy limited thing out there, but Jimmy is limited. And I think when you have a Baker Mayfield who was not playing great last game to start the game off, but some of these other quarterbacks, whether it's Kirk Cousins stuff, I think you just have a little bit more consistency from those guys. So what the coordinator and coach thinking in their heads, their quarterback is able to play that out. I think with the 49ers, that's been a little bit more hit and miss. So, and that's not to say Jimmy can't do it. He marched down the field extremely well first drive last game, and then it went kind of dead, like as far as the points come. So I think that's the thing right there. Like I don't think, and again, we got to hold Kyle accountable to some extent for all of this. But 49ers are 2-2. It's not the end of the world. Sky is not falling. And I also think, if he can either get Jimmy in the groove or Trey Lance start to figure out how to work with him, I think we'll start to see a little bit more expanding of the offense and maybe a little bit more consistency. All right, here's a question right here. Don't be shocked. Everyone knows Jimmy is limited. Don't be shy. I don't want to come on here and be controversial. I'm not that guy. Y'all know I played football, and I try to bring that perspective to y'all, whether, especially wide receivers, defensive backs, but the other stuff as well. I try to remove the fandom aspect of it and just kind of talk about what I'm seeing. Next guy on, my guy Dion. What's good, baby?
What's good with you, Crocky? How you doing, man?
Oh, man, I'm chilling, man. I'm chilling. The morning show, man, we had over 400 people in here at one time, man. It's going
popped
up.
Off, huh? It popped
it's
off.
It's popping off,
yes,
man.
Sir.
I think we're going to do this every day. Make sure if y'all not already, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. But what's good with you, Dion? What's on your mind, man?
Hey man, chilling. So since Jason wore his, I'm gonna go ahead and show you these Braves. Boy, we in them
Oh,
playoffs. They don't want the smoke. They don't want the NL don't want the smoke with my young Braves out
yeah,
there.
yeah,
Honestly though, if y'all once again, man, if y'all looking for Jason, Sprint Right Option Podcast, man, Jason Aponte 2103 on Twitter, man. Definitely like and subscribe. If you want a dude that
yeah,
breaks down film, that dude consistently breaks down film. He's real good at that.
yeah.
For me though, literally my pick for this week when it comes to the Cardinals and the 49ers hinges on who starts at quarterback. If Jimmy
Mm.
starts, we lose. If Trey starts, we win. And I
Oh,
say that because Kyle really needs to stop pushing and shoving Jimmy down everyone's throats. Like
right.
he
Pause.
keeps going back to right. He keeps going back to it. Yeah, man. Jimmy's healthy. He's gonna start. Jimmy's healthy. He's gonna start. There's no quarterback competition. Trey played good for a second string guy. Blah 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 blah. Bro, at the end of the day, you know, look at what Trey did in the second half. Look at what Jimmy did in the first half. Please, I know everybody that got eyes and ears and a brain could see that Trey played better than Jimmy. Come on now, Kyle. I know you saw
Okay.
that.
Yes. Okay. But here's the thing, right? And if I'm looking at it from Kyle Shanahan's perspective, all right,
Mm-hmm.
when I boot you out and roll you out and I have a wide open George Kittle on the flats, I can't make it any easier for you and you miss that. I think it's plays like that where Kyle's like, I just need you to make that play so I feel more comfortable starting you. Again,
I
y'all know
gotta,
me.
I,
I
I
want to see
gotta,
I
I
want to
gotta.
see Trey Lance. But I'm trying to look at it from Kyle's perspective on why he wouldn't play Lance yet or commit to starting him. And I think it's because of plays like that. He start cutting those out, then I think Kyle would feel more comfortable making him the full-time guy. What do you think about that?
I got a good retort for you. Jimmy missed plays like that all the damn time. Jimmy missed wide,
Not,
wide
I don't
open
think he
receivers
misses
on a
that easy.
consistent, not that easy. But my thing is,
Right.
is if that's Kyle's thought process, then he's really got to stop thinking, stop tripping. You have to understand the young rookie is gonna make some mistakes. The boy was told a minute before he got onto the field he was gonna be on the field with no game
Fact.
plan tailored toward him. So what do you do if you're Kyle? You could have been smart and every game you give Trey Lance a set of plays, 5 to 10 plays. Trey, learn these, love them, live them, eat them, sleep them, breathe them. If you,
Yep.
for any unknown reason, have to come in a game, these are the plays I'm going to call. If these plays work out, I'm going to open up more stuff. You prepare him properly as the head coach because Kyle Shanahan's system works for running backs. Not every quarterback wins in his system. He can make them look good, but that doesn't mean you're going to get winning results. He's made Jimmy look good with the system, but he also has to make Trey look good. Just like Jason just said. If you can do all those things for Jimmy, why not do it for Trey? He really
Right.
needs to get off of that. And I think honestly, they're trying to push Jimmy's trade value through the roof because they're going to try to keep him through the offseason until the last minute. And if they can't find someone that's going to give them what they want in a trade, they're going to cut him because they're not going to have trade there and sit him again next year. But Kyle has to come off his high horse and stop trying to make it seem like Trey is nothing and he's no one. You really need to go ahead and open the offense up, tailor it towards him, and allow him to be able to flourish. He will continue to grow and learn. He's a rookie. Those lumps are going to come. He's going to throw interceptions. We're going to be upset with certain things. But these are growing pains. Everybody goes through them. You can't tell me Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady and Drew Brees and Peyton Manning, and even Joe Montana and Steve Young didn't throw interceptions, didn't throw a couple of missed balls, didn't overshoot a few people. The only thing with Trey Lance that I see to be keep it a buck is Trey Lance needs to learn how to take a little mustard off the ball and put a little touch on it. You know what I'm saying? And then he has to
Mm-hmm.
build rapport with the current receivers because that pass to Debo was completely behind him. There was no way Debo was going to catch that unless he had the arms of Brandon Ayuk. And he still wouldn't have caught it because that DB was right there. So once you build rapport with your receivers, that's exactly what you need to do. And then if you want, give him Trent Sherfield as a security blanket. You know him and Sherfield got an undeniable connection. Make it happen. But that's what I'm saying. You got to give him the tools to win, and you can't sit up there and just continually call him a rook and downplay him, because you're trying to force Jimmy Garoppolo on the field. when the man sat there the whole first half, gave us 7 points, and had one too many options. As a defensive player, I'd be pissed. I'd look at him and be like, bro, I mean, I'm busting my
And it
hump.
sounded like
You
there
got to
were,
get
right?
it
If you look
together.
at, if you read between the lines on D4's comments, and again, I see somebody say, bro, you Jimmy haters sound hella dumb. And I don't think anybody's hating on Jimmy Garoppolo. I think it just kind of is what it
We
is
know
at
what
this
he
point.
is. Yeah,
And I
there's
know
nothing
what
more
Jimmy
he's
is.
going to give you.
I think if you are Jimmy Garoppolo, and again, 49ers want to start Jimmy Garoppolo, I'm all for it. And I completely understand
Why?
what it is that
Yeah.
that Jimmy is and what it is that he's supposed to be, right? From the standpoint of bringing more efficiency, bringing that leadership, bringing more an understanding of the offense and being able to execute the offense with how it's called and constructed for him, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think that we have really seen that. And what for everything that I thought Jimmy was supposed to be in this year, a higher level version of whatever Trey Lance is, when you look at the last 3 games and you see 7 points in the first half, 7 points in the first half, 7 points in the first half, I think that's the part where it's like, well, you were kind of brought in to and starting to give the 49ers the best chance to win. And maybe he still does. But I have a hard time saying with confidence that Trey Lance couldn't put up 7 points in the first half in the last. Now, will it result in wins? I don't know. But clearly for the 49ers, it hasn't resulted in wins for whatever reason. I'm not saying that's all on Jimmy, but it just kind of is what it is at this point. Last thing I want to ask you real quick before I get the next caller on.
Of course.
Stephon Gilmore, real quick, your thoughts on Stephon Gilmore.
I like the fact that he's available. My thing is check his health, get with the doctors, figure out what's going on. We do have Parag Marate, who is a wizard with those contracts, so we might be able to figure out something for him. But you got to check the health on him, honestly. I don't need another dude that's going to wind up coming in here and just be on the sidelines. That's just a waste of cash.
Right.
But yeah, I appreciate you having me on, Crocky. And the last thing I'll say to the point for us hating on Jimmy, you got to remember it's not hating on Jimmy. We want the Niners to win. And some of those 7 points, Croc, was Trey Lance. He scored 7 points in one of those moments. So it's just getting the fast start and making it happen, bro. Y'all think we hating on Jimmy. It's just a fact. It's just a fact, period, point blank. We know what he is. There's nothing new to show you. And if Kyle loved Jimmy so much, why was he flirting with every other quarterback in the offseason? And I'm mad.
Peace. Appreciate you. Appreciate my guy Dion, man. Make sure y'all check out, he guys podcast and everything going on as well. Real quick before I get to the next comment, to the next caller. Here we go. My guy Nate Glizzy. That's my guy right now, man. Came out here, visit me out here in Arkansas. Why we not being honest? Like when Lance scored was wide open, the wide receiver, and then Seattle goes into prevent and scores again. Right. So Nate Glizzy, correct. There was a blown coverage on the long touchdown. I don't think the Seahawks were in prevent defense when he drove down. They were sending guys and things like that. They were playing tight coverage. I thought he had to really kind of try to fit some passes into tight windows. I think it was really more so of his ability to kind of make plays that really led that drive. He got to 4th down like 3 times. He had to convert on like 3 different 4th downs on that drive. So it wasn't all easy for him, but he had to figure it out and he made it work. I think the thing that people kind of walk away confident with is it started so ugly, and regardless of whatever was going on in that game, it ended better. Now, what will it look like if he has more time in practice? What will it look like if he is the guy? What will it look like if he has to play a whole game and a team also gets to prepare for him? I think those are going to be challenges that if he's playing in this game, and I think we'll know more about that today, those would be things that we end up hearing about. But I agree, it's not all roses. And coaches, they'll always tell you, it's never as good as you think it is. It's never as bad as you think it is. It's always somewhere in between. Great question, though, man. All right, here we go. Yeah, right. Blown coverage, man. It was and you guys want to talk about that a little bit? I saw somebody say, you guys need to watch more film. I'll just leave it at that, man. Whatever. But I'll tell you what happened on that blown coverage. All right. How I teach it with the kids that I coach and kind of what went on there and what I think was happening. But again, I try not to talk too much about coverages unless I'm 100% sure when it comes to the NFL, because they have all these different things that they're asked to do. But without even knowing what the coverage was, but understanding that Debo was wide open on the wheel, already knew what I thought it was. Outside corner, squeeze one ran a post. That's going to pull the outside guy vertically. Now, you did have the safety come down hard, so he was eyeing it. I guess there's a chance that he could have passed that off. But I do know one thing. I teach my guys in the slot, if you have the wheel, which if you're a flat defender and you basically take the second guy through your zone, all right, especially if the other guys on the other side go away. So if the back goes away, then I don't really got to worry about it. All right, but now you got the guy in the slot. Once he wheels out, I widen out because I'm a flat defender. If he goes up, I probably have to go with that because the post likely is going to take the corner out of there. The slot defender, who ended up being Jamal Adams, he stayed down and ultimately ended up covering grass, and that's something that I like to prevent, right? I don't want you to cover grass. He stayed down, left Debo wide open. Now, the pass kind of fluttered to Debo Samuel. That was one of those things where Trey Lance, he's liable to overthrow it, right? Like he just randomly misses throws, even sometimes when they're wide open. I appreciate the fact that he just said, I just need to get it to Debo any way I can, right? Like it wasn't a great pass from a standpoint of hitting him in stride, but that's one of those, don't hit him in stride. Just get the ball to Debo, get the ball to Debo, whether you got to punt it, throw it, shot put it, whatever you got to do. We just need to get him in position to be able to catch it and run for a touchdown. Debo did the rest. So again, blown coverage. I tell my slot defenders, second guy through your zone, you got to take it. If you're Jamal Adams there and the guy wheels up, take that. Don't cover grass, which Jamal Adams ended up doing. But again, I'm not in Seattle's meetings. I don't know exactly what they're asked to do. So I really don't want to speak on too much what he did or what his responsibility was. I just know how I teach it. All right, here we go. Next guy up. My guy, I Test Sports. Thanks for being patient, man. How you doing?
What's good, Big Con? You can hear me?
Oh, yes, sir. I got you.
What's good, man? I've seen you growing leaps and bounds, man. Your chat blowing up, bro.
Crazy, right?
Yeah, hey, congratulations, because I was here in the beginning of your show, to see how you progressed and how you've gotten better, bro. Hey, salute, fool. And you're the only one doing it early morning like this, so congrats, cuz. All I did, I put Stephon Gilmore's out. Hold up. And you live, bro. So congrats.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So I kind of left up on this because the other day I just wanted to come on and talk about Kyle Shanahan and kind of hold Kyle accountable, right? And I decided one morning, like, I'm just going to go on live and I'm just going to talk about it. I had 150 people in there. So then I'm like, well, okay, maybe I'll do it the next day. I had 250 people and I'm like, all right, sure, I'll do it today. And I've had over 400 people. So make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you guys hit the subscribe button. However you found the show, whether it's through Twitter or whatever. If you're on Twitter, come over to YouTube, hit that subscribe button, all that good stuff. All right, but I want to ask you, Stephon Gilmore, what do you think? Any chance 49ers get him?
Honestly, like I'm like you. Like, I used to play ball, so I never come at it from a fan perspective. I look at it like, what are they thinking over there? You feel me? So for them to bring in Kirkpatrick, Norman, and Buster Screen, only way I see it happening is if they pull that trigger and get rid of Jimmy. You feel me? Because with the money issue and who knows what's going on with you know what I'm saying, with contracts that are coming up. You know what I'm saying? Gilmore at this point, and then like Jason said, we don't know about the injury history. So is he like healthy? Did they just let him go? Because when they let players like that just go like that and they don't even try to get something back for them, I kind of question, is that player like, you know what I'm saying? Is he still hurt? Can he play?
What's going on? Kind of like with Jalen Smith for the Cowboys, right? It's like, man, y'all couldn't get a 5th round pick for him, a 6th round pick for him, nothing. Y'all just let him go. Same thing here with Stephon Gilmore. That was one of the first things that popped to my mind. Why didn't they trade him?
Exactly. So like, you don't just get rid of something. You got nothing for him, nothing. So to me, that raises a red flag. But if the medicals come back, bro, it's like a Christmas gift early for the 49ers. You need him because you don't have anything. And I'm going to say this now before it becomes like a big thing. Bro, I've been watching the whole season. I kind of like sat back after the draft and I kind of watched everything play out. I never wanted Trey to start initially because I saw how green he was. You know what I'm saying? And the whole throwing the ball hard every play. I was like, all right, he's green. So he needs some time in the lab.
Right.
But as you know, the games have gone on. Like somebody said something about he's thrown I think he's thrown a touchdown or he contributed to a touchdown in every game but one. I think this whole season.
Yeah, and that was the Eagles game where he just didn't get a snap.
Exactly. So just that, you feel me? And you play ball. What that shows me for the moment is not too big for him. And bro, sharks are born swimming, dog. Throw them out there. You know what I'm saying? Let them learn at this point. You feel me? Because whether the injury to Jimmy is real or not, fool, because to me, I'm looking at him. I saw him walk off the field perfectly fine. So this whole calf thing, bro. I know there's supposed to be some type of lip there, but okay. Bro, they got to. I think that was the plan, man. Like any signs that Jimmy just ain't cutting it, and like you were saying earlier, full 7 points. Like the offense just looks in park with Jimmy. Like it has no wheels, no nothing, bro. As soon as Trey comes in, even though you can see the green in him, his presence keeps people at bay. You feel me? He keeps everybody attention on him. So, to go back to your question, I ramble about the 49ers, but Gilmore, that's a gift, man.
All good, man. The floor is yours right now.
Nah, you good, bro. But Gilmore, yo, that's a gift. You need that. If that works out, because I was begging for them to get Xavier Howard when all that was going on. But I was saying for like the 49ers season, it teetered on Jason Verrett. And the minute he went down, I was like, man, there goes the season. As good as we are, bro, we are like the best the positions that determines your season is quarterback, cornerback, defensive end to me. You feel me? And you get the quarterback right, you get the defensive end right, but if your cornerback is suspect and you run into Aaron Rodgers or Russell Wilson, or now we got the Woody Woodpecker coming in for Kyler Murray, like, bro, they're gonna get that guy. You feel me? That weakness that you got at cornerback, they're gonna get you at the most inopportune time. So that's why to me cornerback is so important, because without that cornerback, your defense has to play perfect. And you saw Aaron Rodgers get us at the end.
Yep. Now it makes it tough. We'll see how it all plays out. I think, and I'm looking at Trey Lance, and I think everybody understands that there has to be that development curve to him. I think Kyle Shanahan, I think that's the part we're kind of missing, because we see it, right? Like, I think all the fans, everybody in the chat right now, and I appreciate all y'all in the chat. Everybody's active. You have some questions. It's easier for me to see them when you leave a super chat. All right, but make sure you guys subscribe, hit the like button, all that good stuff. But I think it's easy for us to say, Kyle, go with the rookie. He needs to learn. He needs to play. I think Kyle has been looking for, at least his thought process is, I have one winning season in 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
I am obligated to win over anything else, and he's doing everything he can to do that, and he thinks that Jimmy gives him the best chance to do that. Now, again, we're seeing some of the results now, and the pushback can be, well, Jimmy is not doing what you think he should be doing, and I think that's the results of it, right? Last 3 games, only 1 touchdown in each of the first halves. So I think that's the part we have to look at, though. Like, and I want to ask the fans in the chat, if you were Kyle Shanahan and you have one winning season in 4 years, who would you start? Now, me, again, I can look at it and I say, I want you to develop the rookie by any means. And I think long-term 49ers will be better for it. But I think Kyle's looking at it like, dude, I'm under fire. Fans are already turning on me. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, but like, honestly, I'm looking at Kyle and I get it. Like, the buck stops with him, but the hate that he gets, and I kind of know where it's coming from, but at the same time,
where's it coming from?
You already know. But
yeah, I got you.
You know what I'm saying? So with the groundswell gaining up on Kyle, like, what's the alternative? Y'all want to go back to Mike Singletary? Like y'all want to go back to stuff like that? Like, people already. Go ahead.
Kyle not going nowhere. I think that's just people they have something to talk about it. And I saw somebody else tweet this out, but this is true. One, he just signed the big extension. He has like 4 years left. Two, there's no offset in his contract. So in theory, if you fire Kyle Shanahan tomorrow, he'll get a head coaching job. Typically, there's an offset. So in situations like that, the 49ers wouldn't be obligated to pay him the rest of his contract. But he has no offset in it. So the 49ers would have to pay him whatever he's owed for the next 4 years. They would have to pay him all of that while he's also double dipping and getting paid by another team. So Kyle's not going anywhere. Now, if it's just really bad this year and really bad next year, then yeah. But as far as this year goes, he ain't going nowhere. Now, let's say hypothetically speaking, Jet York says, I don't care, I'm rich, I'll pay whatever. Right? From that standpoint, there are guys that could potentially be a good coach and be really good to Trey Lance. And again, I don't see this happening. So I don't want anybody to be like, Croc wants Kyle out of there. No, I don't want Kyle out of there. I'm just trying to say, things have looked a little weird. But I think the first guy that comes to mind is Eric Bieniemy. Now, the tough thing is some of these guys can call plays. Can they be a head coach? Can they be a leader of men? Are they that type of guy? We don't know those things. But I think just in theory and what would be good for Trey Lance, if it's not Kyle Shanahan, Eric Bieniemy, that's the first name that a lot of people think about. And then Daboll from Buffalo. I think a lot of people expected him to have a head coaching job last year or, coming into this year. And he's a guy that had to work to develop a Josh Allen. And he's been there every step of the way in the progression of him. So clearly he knows how to bring along a young, talented, hardworking specimen. So, So, but real quick, I want to get you out on this. What do you think needs to happen in the game against Arizona for the 49ers to win?
The game plan that they had last year, when they hurt Kyler Murray, when they basically built a wall around him, kept him in the pocket. That's basically it, man. You kill the head, the body. They can't do nothing without him. You take him out, the rest of that goes falling down. So to me, you focusing on him. Knock him out the game, bro. I'm all about just, that's the problem over there. Get him. You know what I'm saying? I'll take the 15, bro. Contavious Street, belly flop on him, dog. Get him out of here.
Right.
But hey, good to see you, man. Good to see you, bro. Keep growing. I'm gonna keep tapping in for good stuff, bro.
I appreciate you, dog. Thank you.
Yep.
All right, Roscoe's.
What's up, Croc?
What's good, man? What's on your mind?
Oh, man, I just want to say congratulations, bro. You're killing it right now.
Oh, yeah, it's going up, man. Make sure you guys, if you haven't already, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Yes, sir.
Yep. Like as much as you can. Croc is giving y'all free content right now. This is free content, free elite analysis. Y'all need to make sure y'all like it. At least you could do is just like it. But yeah, Croc, the best is yet to come for you, bro. Man, you found it. Good job. All I want to say is if the Niners and I don't think the Niners are going to get Gilmore. I think he's going to want to go to a more Super Bowl ready team, a team that can compete deep in the playoffs.
What teams come to mind for you?
The Buccaneers instantly came to mind for me. The Packers, even though I think
Stokes is playing well, and they got
Stokes is playing well. So I
don't see them.
Yeah, I would say the Cowboys. Diggs, I don't like Anthony Brown on the other side. I think he's terrible. But
he has played better as of late. But he, in theory, it's definitely an upgrade having Stephon Gilmore. That's for sure.
I mean, imagine trying to throw on Diggs and Gilmore, and they got their linebackers. I mean, I do not want the Cowboys to get up. I don't like the Cowboys. The Buccaneers just makes more sense, and that's the only team I'd be happy to see him go to because you know. I want to see Tom Brady. If the Niners not win another ring, I want to see Tom Brady win another one. But
hey, y'all, man, my guy Chris, man, he's an undercover Bucks fan.
No, I'm not.
He's gonna mask it with his love with Tom Brady.
But I mean, what do you think? do you think he would pick the Niners? I would say this though. I think
if I'm Stephon Gilmore, I'm going to the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, it makes too much sense. But I'll say this. I think if Gilmore were to come on to the Niners, I would say this would bring us close to a 2019 type defense again. But again, those chances are slim to none. Quarterback matters. You got Dak.
Right.
You got people like Brady. You got people. I think the Chiefs needed a DB. You got people like Mahomes. When you got elite quarterbacks who may call you and be like, "Hey, come play for me," then that's an indictment on the Niners. That's an indictment on Jimmy Garoppolo. But that's all I want to say, Croc. Like I said, keep doing your thing, man. You killing it. Blessings be with you.
Appreciate you, big dog. All right, y'all don't know, but Roscoe's, man, my dog Chris, he's like my consultant on my content consultant. I guess that we can call him. There's the last call right there. If, you want to call in, get off whatever's on your mind. If you have questions about Gilmore, get the questions in the chat. Whatever's on your mind, let's talk about it a little bit. We touched on Gilmore, and there are some things that are in question. One, why was he just released? I did see some people, and I kind of came on a little bit after the news kind of broke. So I did see some people say it's just been a contract dispute, which we've known that over the last year or so. There's that. He has been dealing with an injury. How healthy is he right now? He is not able to play currently. So I think I don't know if getting released makes it to where you could just play immediately, but I know he started the season off on the PUP list. So there's that aspect of it. And then what is he looking for? Is he looking for long-term stability? Is it just more money? Does he want to go to a contender? Is he trying to win a championship right now? And when you ask yourself all those questions, how do the 49ers factor into that? From the money standpoint, from a fit standpoint, from a championship standpoint, how do the 49ers align with what Gilmore is going to want? That's the question. If you were Stephon Gilmore, what squad would you go to? Excuse me. Where would you go to? Why do you think he should go to Dallas over Tampa? All right, great question. Now, I'm not saying there's a fly in here. Gosh. I like a little bit more. One, Tampa just signed Richard Sherman. So are they going to be like, all right, we just signed Richard, and obviously, he came in, he got ate up a little bit, but getting his feet wet, probably not the best performance. He'll tell you that. Got to get his feet under him. And that was tough, man. That was a tough thing for Richard Sherman to do. You're talking about a guy who came in, no OTAs, no mini camps, no training camp, no preseason, no first 3 games of the year. And all of a sudden it's like, all right, go out there, play under the lights, and be Richard Sherman that we've known you to be. And I don't think that's going to happen, right? He's going to have to get his feet back under him. But do they say, you know what, forget you, Richard Sherman? Or what's up with Carlton Davis? I remember he got hurt. I don't know if he came back in. You guys let me know what happened with that. But it's an interesting thing what he's looking for. But again, I just kind of like what the Dallas Cowboys bring to the table. So just from the standpoint of how the team is constructed, the quarterback that's there, he's playing at an extremely high level. You got a terrific running game right there with the tandem of Ezekiel Elliott and Pollard. You got all those receivers. You got a tight end, Schultz now, who's getting into the mix, and he's playing well. Defense flying around. I think they're just missing that other corner. Anthony Brown, he's okay, and he's played better. I think most Cowboys fans would tell you, hell no, get him out of here. Get Stephon Gilmore in there. All right, but got my guy Jake coming on. Jake, what's up, baby?
What's up, Croc?
What's up, Jake? Hey, nice hat, man. Niner gang, let's go.
You know it, man. You know it. Yo,
Yes,
so I think if we sign Gilmore, that's a good veteran signing right there. If you get him, you figure when Norman comes back healthy and you got Gilmore, I think that's some good veteran presence, especially for the younger guys in the room.
Yep. Yeah, I get it. No, okay, so here's my only pushback. All right, the 49ers, I think when Richard Sherman came a few years ago, I think it was really good to say, you know what, Richard Sherman, veteran presence, he can help some of these younger guys who at the time it was Akilla Witherspoon, who was a long corner like him. It's like, okay, got the 6'3", 200-pound corner, Richard Sherman, let's get him to, learn the mental side of it because all the athletic ability is there. Now, Spoon came out on fire,
Yeah.
sizzled down, was really up and down. You got Emmanuel Mosley. He was young. He can definitely use the leadership of Richard Sherman, and even guys like Jaquiski Tart and Jimmy Ward. I think they all could have helped from an experience standpoint and really needed a guy like Richard Sherman to come in. I think since then, we're about 3 or 4 years kind of removed from Richard Sherman first coming over. I think right now, when you look at the secondary, I think the veterans that the younger guys need are already in house, right? Jimmy Ward pushing 30, Tart pushing 30, Kawan Williams pushing 30. They've been around a Richard Sherman. So I think from a veteran standpoint, if it's just the knowledge that you're looking for, we have that. Now, if it's you want to improve that position, then yes, a guy like Stephon Gilmore definitely helps you there. Right now, they're throwing anything at the wall to see what sticks, whether it's Josh Norman, Dre Kirkpatrick, trying to see what's going on with, Diamador Lenore. He's played there. Ideally, I think you want to put him in the slot and play him at nickel. Embry Thomas, he's not ready yet. Dante Johnson, he's had to play. So I think from that standpoint, if you do bring in a Gilmore, it's going to be because I need to solidify that spot opposite of Emmanuel Mosley.
Definitely, man. Yeah, definitely. I feel. You're right on that. I just feel like say in Green Bay, how Diamador Lenore I think he kind of struggled in that game a little bit, especially on that last pass of the game. And I just feel, say we face another quarterback kind of like that, like say, I don't know who we play this year, but I just think, having Gilmore in there would be, be more of a lockdown, I guess, than Diamador or, anybody else, I know Mosley's pretty good. Mosley, he pretty much shut down Metcalf.
He did well. He did well
with Metcalf, yeah. So, I just think he'd be a good addition. So,
yeah, for sure. I appreciate it. What are your thoughts a little bit before I get you out of here? What are your thoughts on the game coming up?
What's that, man? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Real quick before I get you out of here, what are your thoughts on the 49ers game coming up against the Arizona Cardinals? You feeling confident? You think there's going to be a win, a loss? What are you thinking?
I feel real confident, man. I'm pumped to see Trey. I'm pumped to see Trey, man, and just to see what he could bring to this team and how he could elevate this offense, to something more than what Jimmy has. Like, I don't want to clown Jimmy, but I just feel that Jimmy offense is really limited on what they could do. And I think the league is catching up to what Jimmy could do. And I think Kyle Shanahan could only dial up so many things for Jimmy to do to play to his strengths, because Jimmy's not as mobile, obviously, than Trey, and he can't throw that deep ball. And I just feel Trey brings a whole different game. And I think if they plan it right, they could throw a lot of defenses off their feet.
Right, man. I appreciate it, man. Thank you for coming on, Jake. I appreciate you calling in. You at work right now?
Yeah, I'm at work, so sorry. It's hard to hear and stuff. So I just figured I watch you from time to time. So I was like, I better call in and chop it up a little bit.
Make that money, man. I appreciate you calling in, bro.
You know it, man. You know it.
All right. All right, everybody. Man, I appreciate everybody coming in today. Make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you haven't already, the episodes come out in the morning. We got Locked On 49ers with myself, Brian Peacock. Every Wednesday is Winky Wednesday. So make sure you guys tune in, listen to that. Locked On NFL Draft. I'm a host of that with my guy, Ryan Tracy. That episode will be out in a little bit, but subscribe to that. I appreciate everybody coming in here, and we're going to be right back tomorrow, 6:30 Pacific, 9:30 Eastern time. I appreciate everybody that's contributed to the show today. But until next time, let's get it. We out. Peace.
Intercepted. It is picked off by Aaron Rodgers over midfield. He'll run it all the way into the end zone. Touchdown.
Crop Talk TV podcast. Peace.